Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another round of sound. This is the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown. We're here for another week. Bob Pompeani at the controls here. We have a lot to get into, including was it a foul or was it not a foul at the end of the Creighton-San Diego State game. We'll get into the Pirates opening day is this week. Lots of interesting news concerning the Steelers at the owners' meetings, but the #1 topic tonight on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown will be the state of the Penguins. And here to discuss is your panel tonight. Jeff Hathorne, sports director at 93.7 The Fan. Far left in the middle, Chris Mueller from the PM team on The Fan, and Will Graves, who does his magic for the Associated Press. So I'll get into it. Will, I want to start with you. Are the Penguins going to make the playoffs now that they have a 3-point lead over the Florida Panthers?
Yeah, they're going to get in, and here's a little – I am increasingly optimistic that they might actually win a series, and this is why. I think if they get the 8th seed, specifically if the Bruins are going to have so much pressure on them to be the team that they've been all season. It happened with the Lightning in 2019. They had 62 wins. They got swept by the Blue Jackets. I think the Penguins have found a little something these last 3 games. I don't think they're great. I think they'll get in, and I give them, as I've been saying for months, I give them a puncher's chance once I get it.
Hey, you got the stuff you were drinking before the show? Give me a little quick, and then I can get a little courageous here. I think they're going to get in.
Wow.
But, I mean, I do not see them beating the Bruins. Tyler Kennedy floated a similar theory.
How about if it's Carolina?
If it's Carolina, I think Carolina's an equally bad matchup almost because they're so much faster than the Penguins. We've seen speed kill with this team before, and they've been on the speedy end of things. No, I know. But like Tyler Kennedy put it out there. Tyler's played. He's been in the battles. He's gotten himself into the mindset where we can beat these guys. It doesn't matter if they're the 1980 Soviets or whatever. The Penguins have a brittle, really unproven goalie in the playoffs. They have 2 lines, which the Bruins are really good at shutting down one of the 2 big ones. And then they're going to be icing Jeff Carter for how many minutes a game? Like, I'm sorry, I can't get there. They're going to make the playoffs, which matters to them. They are going to get boat raced. The Bruins in 3, if it gets to that point.
Little Caboli stance here.
I love that scenario, by the way. I mean, if that were to happen, that would be incredible. And I get what you're saying about the Tampa comparison. I think there is some validity to that. If you had asked me a week ago, I wouldn't have said that the Penguins would get in the playoffs, but things have changed. They played a little better. They even, after collapsing last night, Malkin gets that huge goal to get them to win and didn't give Washington any points. Yeah, I think the schedule points out right now, but it feels like, I mean, I think not just for the players, but for the fans, like the last 2 weeks have been the postseason because every loss kind of feels like you're out and every win, you know what? They might be able to make a run in the playoffs.
But, Chris, they still have a problem closing out games. You know, here they are yesterday up 3-0. You think it's, fait accompli. There's no way. Washington's dead. You know, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're down 3. And yet the Penguins play, make some interesting plays that lead to them getting back in the game, including Chris Letang going behind the net, leaving his man, Tom Wilson.
That's a Chris Letang
But, I mean, you can't
special.
do it.
But, what I give him a pass on is he's still by leaps and bounds their best defenseman. When you're not as fast, when all of your best guys that are still carrying the mail for you, by and large, are older, and you're getting late in these games and making the same careless decisions that the Penguins have made for the entirety of all the time we've all been watching them, guess what? Those older legs don't protect those leads as well when you don't have a goalie who's able to make saves in those situations. I mean, they are going to be, if they get in the playoffs, say they have a lead, say Will is right, and they are putting the Bruins on the ropes. All 4 of those hypothetical wins, I guarantee you will be Mr. Toad's wild ride for the last 5 minutes.
And really the difference in this team has been the play of the 3rd and 4th line.
Right.
And some of these guys, Chad Ruhwedel scores. Drew O'Connor has been playing really well. Carter's played well. Paling, I tell you what, you don't realize the speed he has until he gets into open ice. Like, they've been playing better hockey, and what do you know? The Penguins as a group are playing better.
I mean, they've been more complete, right? But as somebody who was sitting there writing a live game story last night, 3-0 after second period, boom.
You love them, don't you, for
3-1,
that?
still good. 3-2, I got 550 very crisp words ready to go. At 3-3, Dave Molinari, who was sitting next to me, said a word I can't say on TV, and I looked up and I was like, oh my God. I actually owe Gino a favor for actually not making me rewrite the whole story. That being said, I think it's a push-pull. Are the Penguins the team that we've seen for the last 70 games? Or are they the team we've seen for the last 17 years? I mean, that's the part. That's sort of the push-pull. And I mean, I've said it on here many times. They deserve the benefit of the doubt. Their top guys deserve that. And even Gino, who also took a stupid roughing penalty to sort of spark that comeback, says, well, we need to play better in the third period. We give them too much open ice. We do too many stupid things. Okay, well, just stop doing them. But it looks like they can flip. I mean, they talk about flipping the switch, and like they do for 40 minutes. But
Here's
they have trouble doing it for 60.
Okay, here's a suggestion. It would make them, they'd have to go away from everything they like to do. There are still talented guys at the top end. All top six is talented, not just the big three, right? Obviously, including Letang. How about this dirty little 4-letter word that I actually can say on TV, just no hockey fan wants to hear it? Trap them. You got to lead in the third period, trap. Play ugly, crappy, glorious New Jersey Devils 1995 hockey and trap the crap out of whoever you're playing.
Being able to channel that. Real quick, we have a
I
minute.
know they can't because they don't want to. If it's like my dad says,
So
hey, you'll be very healthy. 10-year-old Chris Mueller, you will feel really good and be really healthy. Just eat this plate of broccoli. No, I don't want to.
1 minute. Tristan Jarry, long-term, short-term. Can he be the guy this year? And where will he be when the season is over?
You look at the free agents out there, and it's like, man, do you roll the dice with Jarry? There are too many injuries for me. No, same thing Jeff said. And I don't know if the guy can win in the postseason, even if he is healthy, but he's not healthy.
No, in the short term, I think you get a ride to Smith till he falters. The irony is, like, Jarry may have played himself into where he's a cheap deal for them over the summer.
Yeah, he may have cost himself
the
a lot
Terrell
of money.
Edmonds way of doing things.
We have, speaking of Steelers, we have a lot of that coming up because it's the owners' meetings. There are a lot of things on the table as far as potential changes to some of the rules. We'll get into that. And Bud Dupree, should the Steelers consider bringing him back? All next, right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.